Factorial ANOVA, or in this case, two-way ANOVA in Excel. Here in this Excel data sheet, I had inserted data that have two factors, two levels, or two independent variables and one dependent variables. The first factor is the job factor, in which there are four groups: doctor, dentist, pharmacist, and nurses. The second factor, or the second level, is the gender, male or females, and the salary earned annually in pound for each individual is inserted. So we have here two independent variables, jobs and gender, and one dependent variable, which is the salary. And to do two-way ANOVA, since we have here two factors, two-way ANOVA statistical analysis, three hypotheses are generated. The first hypothesis states that there is no differences between means of factor 1. So this hypothesis will examine whether there is a difference between all the four occupations: doctor, dentist, pharmacy, nurses, in terms of their salary earned annually. The second hypothesis, the null hypothesis, will address whether there is a difference between gender, male or female, in terms of the salary earned annual, as the null hypothesis states that there is no differences between the means of factor 2. And the third null hypothesis states that there is no interaction between factor 1 and factor 2. So this hypothesis will examine whether the factor 1 and factor 2, whether the occupation and the gender can influence the salary earned by individual. To test these hypotheses, two-way ANOVA statistical test will be used. So to do that, click on data, then data analyze, select factor ANOVA two-factor with replication, click on OK, and in the new window select the input range, and the input range select the data with the title of the column, and for the rows per sample, which represent the second factor, in this case is the gender. So we have 12 male and 12 female. So per sample we have 12 participants that are male, and in the second sample we have 12 participants that are females. Keep the alpha at 0.05. If you click on OK, a few tables are generated, one for the male, a second for the female, that both shows the average for the salary earned by doctor, dentist, pharmacist, and nurses. The most important table or part is the ANOVA table, which will answer the three hypotheses. The first cell here, sample, will represent the gender factor, male or female. There is significant differences between the salary earned by male and females. Just going to edit this a little bit by clicking on format cells and reduce that, make it number, reduce it to 4 decimal. As we can see here, a p-value is generated. So this p-value indicates that there is a difference in terms of the salary earned between males and females. The second cell is the column, which shows a significant difference, and this column represents differences between four groups for factor of the job. So that also states that there is a difference between the salary earned by doctors compared to dentists, to pharmacists, and to nurses. The Third cell here is the interaction, which examine whether there is an effect of both the jobs and the gender on the salary earned by individual. Again, it shows that there is a significance, so thus the job and the gender, whether male or female, can affect the salary earned by individual. So this is the way to do two-way ANOVA in Excel for a data that have two factors or two levels.